Hey, what's up everybody, this is Tattoo Bart and welcome to the channel once again. I'm really sorry for not putting out the video last week. I had some minor setbacks with my audio. I actually already recorded this video last week, but when I started to edit it, I noticed that there was absolutely no audio under any of the clips. So I'm just gonna re-record everything and hopefully make a really nice video for you. So in this video we're gonna compare the Pope Iron's Defender to the OG Produce Terminator. They're kind of like a sidebar or side arm direct drive machine. They both have an armature bar. They both are stroke adjustable. One is just a little bit different than the other. And today we're gonna explain the differences and see which one would actually work best. Now, because I already recorded this video, I figured out a couple of things on both of these machines, and one of them that actually works a little bit better, but I will of course explain that at the end of this video. Now I do want to remind you that I have both of these machines as an individual review on my channel as well, so if you're interested in seeing a little bit more detail about one of these machines, make sure you go check out those videos and I will link them in the description down below. Other than that, we're just going to dive down and have a close look at these two machines, and hopefully you will enjoy watching this video. So as you can see, I got both of these beauties right here. You can see they're both stroke adjustable. One just has like 5 stroke adjustments. That's the Defender. It has a 3.5, 3.8, 4.2, 4.5 and a 5.0 millimeter stroke, which can be adjusted by just untying this and move it up and down the armature bar. So this is 5, 4.5, 4.2, 3.8, 3.5. And as you can see on the side, they have these little ridges where it actually falls into place, so you don't have to worry about being in between strokes or things like that. Then of course this armature bar is gonna move, and that's what creates the stroke length basically that can be adjusted there. Then on the OG Produce Terminator, it's a little bit of a different story. There is this little thing sticking out with a dot. I don't know if I hope you can see it on camera. Let's see if I can bring it closer. You see that little point right there? That's where your stroke adjustment is. So right now it's at the 2.5, and you can adjust it by clicking this wheel. Now I did figure out, so right now it's at 5.0 volts, and you can see that this thing has a whole lot of adjustment. 5.0, 4.5, 3.8, 3.5, 2.5, 1.5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 4.3, 7, or 4.7 and 5. So it's a lot of adjustments, a lot of rough adjustments, and a lot of really fine tuning in between. Now I do have to say, if you are tattooing, and especially if your machine is wrapped, this is incredibly hard to adjust. So that is something I personally don't really like about this machine. Now of course this is all personal preference, but looking from like a hygienic standpoint, this is not the best way for me to adjust the stroke length while I'm working on it. Other than that, it's a really cool machine. It doesn't have a very long bar, it's quite a short bar, which also has an impact on the way it tattoos, but I will get to that at the end of this video. Now I did record a little bit on testing them on practice skin in the individual reviews, but I've also done it in the video I recorded last week. Of course that footage is without the audio, but I can just show it as a time lapse and you can kind of see how they work. So here we go. So one thing I did really notice is actually a couple of things. Now I already mentioned that this one has a little bit of a smaller armature bar than, for example, the Defender. Now this one also vibrates a little bit less than what the Defender does because it's a little bit more robust. But one thing I did notice actually on both of these machines, they run a little bit better in that 4mm stroke range. At the 5mm stroke, I don't know, they start to get a little bit too rough. It could also be me, of course, because everything is very personal when it gets to tattooing. But I feel like they are a little bit more powerful and a little bit more smooth running at a 4.2 or around that 4mm stroke. But it is something you really need to consider if you want more like something to replace maybe your coil machine, or you want to get into something like a Dan Cuban, or I don't know, like a Sidewinder style machine, but it's a little bit more expensive. It can also do really nice soft shading, really nice color packing and lining, but just keep in mind I wouldn't go too much towards that 5.0mm stroke. Of course, unless you're gonna do a lot of dot work, because it actually worked amazing on that 5.0mm stroke. Now, although the Terminator has a lot more different stroke adjustments, it is actually very hard to adjust it, especially mid tattoo. But it can run a lot softer. You can produce very nice, really soft shading with this one. So if you, for example, if you like to do black and gray, but you're not a big fan of the pen style machines and you just want a very light, powerful rotary, then this would absolutely be an amazing machine for you. It is super small, especially if you compare it to this one. This is a little bit more of a coil machine shape, and this one is more, maybe a little bit more like how you have the Injecta kind of machines. But yeah, very light. I think the OG Produce is a little bit lighter than the Defender. But all in all, yeah, they're just two very good machines, but all just for a little bit different style. So like I said, if you're more into a more softer style of tattooing, this is an absolutely great machine. And if you're more into that traditional, very powerful, punchy sort of machine, then this would probably be the one for you. Now, both of these machines are absolutely very nice and fun machines to work with. They are feeling very similar to a traditional machine, like a coil machine or another rotary kind of machine, and not really like that pen style. Even though this one is a little bit softer, it will still feel kind of like a coil machine, but then like a soft shader, because you know how things are adjusted. So this will feel a little bit more like a shader. This definitely feels more like a liner or a packer. Even the combination of both of these would be absolutely amazing. For my hand, I actually prefer the Pope Irons machine, the Defender, just because I don't need a whole lot of these stroke adjustments. I will usually just set it to one, or maybe use two different stroke lengths, where on this one it's a little bit easier to adjust it, and especially at the 4.2mm stroke, it's a very all-round machine anyways. And if you want it to be a little bit softer, you can always bring it to the 3.8 or 3.5. And usually when I do shading, I will not go underneath the 3.5mm stroke, because it's already soft enough for me. But you know, everyone is different. If you want a little bit more fine-tuning in your stroke adjustment, you can absolutely do that with this one. Just keep in mind it's a little bit harder when you're mid-tattoo to adjust your stroke on this one than it is on the Defender. I really hope I captured everything in this video, and hope I didn't keep you waiting too long since last week. If you have any questions about these machines, always feel free to write them down in the comments down below. As well, check in the description if you are interested in buying any of these two machines. I will have a link to the store where you can actually buy these machines, and I'll have a little bit of a discount code for you as well. So for a future video, I do want to put this next to a Sidewinder style tattoo machine. Now, if you're interested in seeing that video, make sure you leave a comment in the comment section and let me know you would love to see that. Other than that, I wish you all a wonderful day, and hopefully we'll see you in the next video.
Bye.